Our project itself is a form of cultural inquiry, I think, because it is allowing us to ask particular questions about this white feminist construct of the housewife.
I'm a PhD student in English and Theater Performance Studies. I feel as though my training is primarily academic, but I also have a sort of artistic practice on the side, which is very much a part of my Theater Performance Studies degree.
Currently, I'm a fifth-year PhD student doing a joint degree in anthropology and conceptual and historical studies of science. The kind of thing that I'm interested in exploring is like, how do we imagine we can adjust our material conditions into making different worlds?
It did very much start when I sort of had this weird brainchild with my friend and collaborator Madeline Marr, who is the sort of co-creator of Beverly Hill. We were binging a lot of Real Housewives during the pandemic. My partner was forced to overhear them in the background of our house all the time, and so he called them the Real Housewives of Beverly Hill. And I thought this was hilarious, and it immediately conjured up like a desolate landscape where there used to be many hills in Beverly Hills, and now there is only one, and the Real Housewives have like retreated to this like last remaining hill in their own personal apocalypse. But it's really complicated. We were like, we need to develop a bean can economy and like all of this stuff, and so we kind of went to Blair and we're like, this is where we need the kind of thinking Blair does.
Yeah, what do these interpersonal relationships look like? Is this a utopia? Is this a dystopia? Whose utopia?
Right.
You know, those kinds of things.
Then we got the grant from the Art Science Culture Initiative to build it out at least a little bit more. And this was when we thought that we were still going to be doing something very garage band style. And so we had a series of 3 workshops that were hybrid in this room, actually, whether it was how to express emotion just with your hands, since the hands are actually a very visible part of the piece, learning the basics of puppetry. I had actually built all of the puppets already. That was one of the first things that we did, just because that was kind of where it started from, was like, I made the puppets and then we decided who are they. Like, who are these women? That's very much how we operate, is like, let the puppets teach us what the story is going to be.
One super challenging thing for us to do too was just communicate with each other about where the project is, where we want it to go, how, you know, it kept scaling up, and allowing it to do that and not being afraid of where that's going to take us, I think was very challenging. We're shooting a pilot. That's going to be the final form that comes out of this grant.
You helped us to kind of figure out, well, if this is true, then this is going to kind of follow. Like, that was where I think your different method to sort of the process felt like it really blended well.
There's a way that the making of science feels like mechanical and rigid and procedural, and so much of science is not that. Like, this is something I truly learned by doing this Housewives project, is like, and thinking about puppets with you, is like, I just didn't, like, to have the puppets lead the questions and to play with them, to understand a problem, is like, you don't even have to present that in the end. That actually just helps you think.
There we go. We did it. Let's do it. We're gonna do it one more time.
That was it.
One more time in sequence, everybody. Okay.